Will coffee break autophagy? Even worse with bulletproof coffee. All right, I will tell you why. But before I tell you why, make sure to subscribe, like, share it in real life, and so forth. I am dedicated to the truth, always to the truth. I want to get to the bottom of this. And, well, you know, always. It doesn't matter what it is. So, look, the truth is, as soon as you drink something with calories, you will break autophagy. I mean, you will break fasting. You will break ketosis. And autophagy gets deeper the deeper you get into ketosis, so to speak. You know, ketosis and autophagy is not the same thing. Ketosis is ketones produced by the body when it doesn't have anything else to, you know, no other energy source. So it has to rely on ketones, these molecules, as energy. And it takes from the fat from your body. And if it doesn't have fat, it will start to take from the muscles. And if it doesn't have muscles, it might even start to take from your bones. So, you know, eventually you die. So if you don't have food for a very, very long time, you will die. But humans can survive very long time without food and even torture, basically. You know, in Auschwitz, they survived for a very long time without any food, water, well, barely any food and water. You know, it was basically soup, but not soup, it was basically water every now and then. So, you know, well, more or less every day. So the thing is, humanity has survived many things, many things. We're not fragile creatures, we are very strong creatures. But if you want to heal something, or even if you want to lose weight, and it doesn't matter, you know, this coffee thing, look, you're addicted to coffee. So the whole point of fasting is to get rid of your addictions as well. You want to get healthy, you want to get fit. So you have to remove your addictions. You have to remove your lower desires and to achieve your higher desires. A great body, a beach body, you know, you want to have abs, you want to have, you know, you want to be confident. You want all of those things. You want to be focused, laser focused every single day, creating your task, focusing on your task and only your task. And so you see, you gotta remove all of these things. You can't rely on coffee. You're relying on coffee. Oh, it looks so good. I want this coffee, this bulletproof coffee thing. It looks very good. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's like, I'm seeing all these addicts out there, you know, almost all of you are addicted. I see you like heroin addicts, like crystal meth addicts. Oh, this crystal meth, this heroin, it looks great. It's tasty. You know, this alcohol, you know, it is terrible. It is disgusting. Alcohol is disgusting. It is an acquired taste. You know, beer is an acquired taste. Coffee is the same. It's an acquired taste. Tea as well. You know, it's not delicious. It's only delicious. Why do you keep putting butter in it, like bulletproof coffee? Yeah, your excuse is, of course, you know, I want to be in ketosis. But you shouldn't be in ketosis all the time. You should break your ketosis. You know, when we eat, we break and drink, we break our ketosis. And you do that at a certain point. You don't, true fasting, you know, you fast almost all of the day, and then you spike insulin, you know. And there is no way to avoid spiking insulin at least once, you know. So you can't just be in ketosis all the time. That's why the ketogenic diets don't make sense for most people. They only make sense for people who are epileptics and, you know, perhaps even if they have cancer and so forth. But even then, you could dry fast all day. So you don't even need, you barely need that. There are better ways. There are better ways. There are always better ways. And don't get stuck into one thing. and figure out one thing first, and make sure you're not stressed out. You know, all those factors. It might not be the OMAD that's not, you know, you think the OMAD is not working, or the dry fasting is not working, or water fasting routine that is not working. But it might be something else that stresses you out. Work or something like that, you know, relationships, something like that. And you have to cut it out. You have to start meditating as well. You can't just, or at the very least, do these, you know, breathing every time you walk to the park, walk to wherever you're walking, or towards your work, driving or whatever it is. You take deep breaths. So I'm always for meditation in terms of deep breaths, breathing meditation. So Vipassana and Dzogchen. So always do Vipassana and Dzogchen. They are great, all right? And there is a lot of, you know, guided meditations out there. I will create my own guided meditations when it comes to Dzogchen and Vipassana. I'm increasingly loving more and more Dzogchen, so which is Buddhism. But, you know, cutting out the nonsense. We don't use any of the nonsense, you know, no chants, none of that is necessary. No wording of Buddha and so forth, because that is unnecessary. We need the breathing meditation techniques, because that is most important. So that will calm you. So, but it might be salts as well, you know. If your OMAD doesn't work, it might be salts and so forth. But, you know, coffee. Look, if you want deep autophagy, the best thing, the most effective best thing is dry fasting. No water, no food, and you will get into autophagy. You will feel it. You will even feel it when you're in, you know, in your daily fasting. You know, you will feel it. Because ketosis, you might actually be in ketosis, you might not actually feel it. But being deeper in autophagy, in a deeper state of autophagy, you will feel, you know, acetone in your mouth and so forth, which is, you know, the ketosis thing as well, but they're connected. But you see, it's the same way space and time are connected. It's not the same thing, but it is the same thing, you know. It's not the same thing, but it is deeply connected. You see, they're deeply connected. So it's like thoughts and emotions and so forth. So you have to get rid of your coffee. You have to get rid of your tea. You have to get rid of your alcohol. These are all addictions. These are all drugs. The only reason I can see for tea and coffee is when you're when you're sick. But not even then. You know why? Because of dry fasting. Just dry fast. Just dry fast. If you're sick, you dry fast. You don't do anything. That's the only thing. So last time I got sick, I just dry fasted. And it got way better. And I should have even gone longer for like 4 days. I did 3 days. I should have gone like 4 days. I could do 4 days. Because the more you dry fast, the more you're accustomed to this, especially if you're daily dry fasting as well, which I'm always doing. I still haven't had anything, and it's getting warmer, and dry fasting will get harder in the summer. So you will have to implement some other routine in the summer, but you know, we will get to that. All right, as soon as summer comes, I will get to that. So, will autophagy break by coffee? Yes, because you won't be in a fasted state. That is why I don't like 16-8 fasting, intermittent fasting. Of course, it's better than nothing. Of course, it's better than most people. But it's still, you know, it's not even close to your highest potential. It's not even close to your, it's not even close to your potential, let alone your highest potential. So, and you know, for healing and all of these things, and we need healing all the time, healing and recovery. You can't just, healing is not just, oh yeah, you just heal up, you get fit, and then you move on with your life. Well, actually, you have to always heal, you have to always move on with your life, so to speak. You always have to reintroduce this. You always have to go back to OMAD and go back to whatever it is. You can't just, and you have to be consistent, of course. So you can't just drop it. You can't just drop it. So the same way you can't just drop training. You have to train. Now, of course, you can take, even weekly recovery time. For example, every third or fourth month, you take a longer break, And so you can start feeling your body, all right, I need some break now, a little bit longer break, so that my body can totally recover, and then I will get back and, be stronger than ever. And your gains, so to speak, all of those things will be, increased. So of course you need recovery. But coffee is never the answer. That observe other people. See how these coffee drinkers, how they are addicts. They are addicts. And they're totally addicted to coffee. And as soon as you say that it's delicious, you're addicted. I know that you're addicted to it because coffee without sugar and anything, it is an acquired taste. It is disgusting. It is disgusting. But you're so accustomed to it. And I know this because I was this with tea. And I was this with beer as well. I could drink basically anything. I could drink anything. I could drink vodka. And oh yeah, it's a nice taste. No, it's not nice. And it's even worse when I mixed up things and, beer with vodka and Red Bull with vodka. That's one of the worst. And, I just killed my body. So, and there is nothing interesting with this. There is nothing interesting with this because once you get cleaner, once you get to your instincts with this kind of lifestyle that I am always talking about, a simpler lifestyle, more effective lifestyle, you will create stuff that you love, like I'm doing here. You'll create, you will focus only on the stuff you love, your life, you play the game of life instead of playing all these, addictions that are lower desires. You want your higher desires. You finally want to finish that work, all right? So that dream of yours, that is your higher desire. That is your higher desire. So you got to focus on that instead. Looking for that, chasing that instead of all of these, all this coffee and, chocolate and snacks, and I'm not even interested in this anymore, I am the ascetic guy. I am the ascetic man, the ascetic human. Because, the asceticism, you remove things, but you still are human. You're still human, so you retain your humanity. Even better, because you remove all the nonsense and you just keep who you are, your core, the very essence of your being. You only keep that. It is a minimalistic lifestyle. It is a minimalistic lifestyle that unclogs you. And so that's why I will never promote coffee. Never, ever, never, ever. I will never promote it. Like I said, the only way you will use it is for medicine, as medicine when you're sick. That's the only way. That's the only way. And I wouldn't even recommend that because you can dry fast. You just dry fast as long as you need, and then you can drink water, and then you dry fast more, and until you aren't sick anymore. That is how you do it in nature. That is how you do it in nature. It's not like you are sick and you have all of these things available to you when you're sick in nature. Imagine being sick in nature. Where are you supposed to find coffee? And all the processes to create coffee. You can't, green coffee beans, I guess, I don't think you can just chew those. I doubt that, Now, obviously, to get rid of your coffee addiction, That's actually a pretty good way, I think. You know, you can chew coffee beans. That might be a certain way to get rid of coffee as well. But a better way is, of course, dry fasting. You dry fast at least, if it's the first time for you, you can dry fast for 36 hours. That's the first thing I did. I dry fasted for 36 hours and I can still remember it. It's like I was starting to be a different person. I could feel the fat on me, you know. It's like something smothering me, and I was getting rid of it. I still didn't have muscle definition. So you see, you just progress like that. And, you know, autophagy. You want autophagy, you remove coffee. All sorts of coffee. I don't even care if it's decaf, even if it doesn't have caffeine, so to speak. Doesn't matter, because mentally your body might still, you know, spike insulin, because, you know, it's a similar to placebo effect, you know. It will, you know, it's the same way with, you know, alcohol-free, zero alcohol beer, you know, beer with zero alcohol. Well, there is barely any beer with zero alcohol. I think there is now, but still, you drink it and you can still feel the exact feeling of alcohol, and you're just trying to, you still haven't beaten your food addiction there. The same with coffee addiction. And if you have, I know that you have coffee addiction. If you think it's tasty, you have coffee addiction. If you think it removes your headaches, you have coffee addiction. If you have, you know, pimples, acne, most likely you have some form of coffee addiction, all right? Or, you know, it could be tea addiction as well. I've never been a coffee drinker, but my whole family has been this, except my sister. So, but she noticed as well, you know, when she was talking to me, you know, like, yeah, you're right, bro, you're right, brother, that I started to feel headaches, you know, and it's true, and I had headaches from tea as well, because you start relying on this. It is addictive, it is caffeine, both have caffeine, all right, it's called caffeine for tea as well. So if you want the deepest form of autophagy, for whatever reason, healing, whatever reason, you stop drinking this, you will just break the autophagy effect, all right? You will just lessen it, always. This even with water, because water is still, your body still has to, it's a foreign entity. You're putting something foreign into your mouth, and so the body has to process this and create its own water from this water with the help of this water. So you have to remove that, and you know, you can do water fasts, but dry fasting will get deeper into autophagy. Always, it will always do this. There is no other way. You know, it's true fasting. It's true fasting. You remove everything. It's true fasting. So, if you want deep autophagy, dry fast. Don't listen to, you know, you can eat this, you can eat that. It's all calories, all right? It will all start the processes in your body. You can't avoid that, all right? Unless you fast. That's the only way to avoid everything, all right? So don't get caught up in all of these nonsense. Don't get caught up in all of this nonsense. Coffee, tea, you know, herbs, all of these things, it's all nonsense. There is no, you know, this is good for autophagy, this food is good for autophagy. That is all nonsense. That is just delaying everything and making everything much more complicated in life. Why are you making everything complicated in life? Make it simple. It's the most simple thing. Avoid everything. I mean, of course, I understand it's not simple for you because you're addicted, but you gotta have a true will to change. A true will to change. You gotta have this. You gotta have this true will to change. And I know that most people don't have this. And that is why most people are mediocre. I just can't, there is no other way to get around this. I know that most people can't handle this. So, but if you have a deeper purpose, if you have joy in the process, if you always have joy in the process, but also even more important, if you have a deeper purpose, you will be greater. You will achieve great health, the great health that Nietzsche spoke of as well. So, all right, so I'm creating a website. I will put the link perhaps tonight or later. All of my, it's a temporary thing. My courses will be there, but consulting is on there. So I will have an application form. You will have to get through that application form before you can even reach me, because I don't want to deal with the masses, all right? Because I know that the masses, most of them are lazy. Most don't have this true will to change. Most people don't have this true deep desire will to change their life and the behaviors, even their identity, because people are attached to their identity. You see, Buddha, he was truly detached. He was truly detached to, well, too much. I would say he was attached for too long, for too many things, but because I never want to lose humanity, all right? That's why I speak of ascetic humanism. I don't want to lose the humanism, all right? Because I think our emotions, thoughts, work, task, purpose, all those things are important. We can't just, if we remove everything, if we become nature, because nature is the ultimate indifferent thing, we can't become nature. We should stay true to our nature. We are not nature itself. We are true to our nature. You see, from Stoicism, that is the correct thing there. It's not human nature to be indifferent, totally indifferent. You should be indifferent to a certain extent. Of course, you should be ascetic. You should remove things, but you should also keep your humanity. Always, you should always keep your humanity. Always, always, always. Otherwise, something is wrong. You won't ever reach life satisfaction, but you also keep all the garbage, all the nonsense, and that's why you're also not satisfied in life, because you keep all the garbage and nonsense. You're not removing things. You see, that's the beautiful counterbalance. Ascetic humanism. We have both. It's like a living paradox. You almost become like a living paradox, but you will figure it out. All right. With my guidance, you will figure it out as soon as the website is on there. Go to the consulting page, the courses page, they will come soon, but I'm working on that. But the website, I want to have that up first, just being up there. And then I'm of course working on diet and fasting. So those are the two things that will get out there. Diet and fasting. And of course, I will only teach things that I consider the best thing, because that's the whole, if you like something else, you might as well go to someone else. If you like the stuff I'm talking about, then you will, go to me. So that's how it is. If you like Coca-Cola, you go to Coca-Cola. If you like Pepsi, you go Pepsi. You see, that's how it works. That's how everything works. If you like, there are many different ways to live. So this is the way I live. This is the way I love to live. And if other people wanna, adopt something out of this, that's beauty to me. All right, that is beauty. I want the perfected condition, human condition. So that is the aim here, and that's the same thing as saying greater health. It's the same thing. I'm just using different words. So make sure to check out my website. Everything will eventually be on one single website. Everything will be singular. All right. It won't be, spread out. You will always find the things in one place. All right, because that is beauty. It's all collected into one. Nature is beautiful. It's all collected into one. So the same, life should be the same. Life should be the same. In a metaphorical manner here. I'm not speaking of being exactly like nature in terms of emotion here. You see, we want to retain emotion. Always, always. All right, so I've gone way beyond autophagy now because, you know, these things are more not just important, but they're more interesting as well. You know, autophagy only has this, you're only talking about something that's a mechanism, you know, a mechanistic thing in the body. We can go deeper and deeper into this, but that won't ever help you. The routines, the habits, the mindset, the implementation, those things, and doing it right and most effective and so forth, those are the ways that will change your life. The fact that you're reading about autophagy won't actually change your life. Now, of course, it is interesting, it's beautiful, it's many things. It is knowledge, it's information, of course. But I'm just saying that, keep in mind that the implementation is much more, it's much more important because it's your life, all right? And your life is all you have. Your life is all that you have. So make sure you create your dreams, all right? And we cut out everything else. That's just, we can debate things forever, but you won't get anywhere if you debate things forever. Just implement these things and experiment and see what happens, all right? So, okay, so I think I explained my whole purpose here. So, keep on working on yourself, focus on yourself, remove the nonsense, get to the effective stuff, use only the effective stuff, move on with your life, create your dreams. All right, I will see you tomorrow.